Hey, it's Shawn with Kiwi. Trying to help you guys out with you run into a Conestoga that doesn't have the tool in it. It's the classic thing, the last driver that pulled the trailer didn't leave the tool behind, now you're stuck with that. So it is possible to get the back unlocked without the tool. But the key to that is starting by unlocking the front. Release the tarp in the front so that you don't have any pressure on this mechanism back here. And then with just the use of your winch bar, you can usually get it done. However, if you have a hammer and a pry bar, a little block of wood, that makes things a little bit easier. So I'm going to kind of go through the motions here, and we'll stop along the way and point out a couple of things to be cautious about. So where you want to start out is this arm right here is rotated into place and it's over center. So let me use the tool here and I'll demonstrate how it's supposed to work. So this thing is above center and you see it comes down and right there it goes below center. That's when it starts to unlock, and then it's going to rotate all the way down and you can pick this up and put it up on the storage shelf right there and then bring your tool back down into its normal position. So we have to be able to accomplish that without using the tool. So let me lock it back up here again. So the first bit of the battle is to get it down out of that over center location where it's locked in. But what keeps it up in that over center position is this little spring and this cable right here. So as we're prying and beating, banging, whatever we got to do on this arm to make it cooperate, we got to make sure that we don't damage that spring and cable, because that's what keeps it locked when you're driving down the highway, and that's what also keeps it on this storage shelf once you've got it unlocked. So if that spring and cable is not there, then a way that you can compensate with that would be a bungee hooked on here and then run up above somewhere so that you've got upward pressure on this part right here. So as we start out, usually you can just use your winch bar to do this, and if you start right here in the corner, being careful not to damage that spring and cable, you can usually get it down out of battery like that. And then here's where a hammer can come in handy to be able to continue to bring this down. Ideally, we would get it down far enough to be able to get this up onto that shelf. And we have to at least get this back up out of the location so that it'll go past the teeth there in the deck. So now we've got it unlocked and up on the storage shelf so that we could roll this side is ready to roll ahead. Then we got to rinse and repeat with the other side. So one of the things that's going to make this more difficult is if this is being sticky from lack of lubrication or lack of use, like if a trailer has been sitting someplace for a while, and also this pivot right here can get stiff for that same reason, lack of lubrication or lack of use. So if you've got a can of lube of some kind that you can get in and spray in this area and this area, and also on the outside of the trailer, get some lubrication in there, and also down in this area here where that has to rotate on that pin. That'll make life easier. So if you have a trailer where it's really stiff in there, then it's going to make this process of doing this without the tool even more difficult. So again, we're going to go in here and try to get this going without damaging that little cable. Get this started coming down, and then you could get up here and use your winch bar as your hammer, but if you've got a regular hammer, you can switch to that. Not quite far enough yet. So now you're ready to go ahead and load or unload whatever it is that you're going to do. And then once you're done, then you've got to go through that same process in reverse to get it locked back in and then put the tension on from the front. So I know it's not easy. It's definitely inconvenient, but it can be done. A little bit of time, a little bit of patience. You can get there.